Welcome back, everybody. Moving on to the next question. Very common question comes up. They ask you whether an x value is in a solution set for inequalities. So in this case, is x equal 3 in the solution set to the inequalities below? We have 6 of them here. These questions are very simple. All you do is you take that x value of 3 and plug it into the inequality and then just see if it makes sense. So if we take this 3, plug it in for x in this first inequality, we get 3 being greater than -1. And does this make sense? Yes, it does. So 3 is greater than -1. So the answer for the first one, x equals 3, is in the solution set. What about this second one? If we plug in 3 for x, is 3 less than -3? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. 3 is greater than -3. It's not less than -3. So x equals 3 is not in this solution set. For this one, if we plug in 3 for the x values, if we plug in 3 here on the left side, 4 times 3, 12, plus 3 is 15. Greater than or equal to 2 times 3 is 6, minus 3 is 3. Is 15 greater than or equal to 3? Yes, it is. That makes sense. So x equals 3 is in this solution set. Another way you can do these actually is you can actually solve this inequality. So if we bring the 2x over, 4x minus 2x gives us 2x greater than or equal to, if we bring this 3 over, -3 minus 3 gives us -6. So then when we simplify that, x is greater than or equal to -3. So basically all of x values that are greater than or equal to -3 will work for this inequality. And since 3 falls in that solution set, x being greater than or equal to -3, we know that it's going to work. But in my opinion, a quicker way is just plug it in for the x values and then just see whether the numbers make sense. Moving on to this one, plugging in 3 here, on the left side we get 7 greater than, and then plugging in 3 here, 3 minus 2 is 1, 3 plus 5 is 8. Is 7 greater than 8? No. That doesn't make sense. So x equals 3 is not in the solution set for this one. Moving on to the fifth one, 3 plus 6 gives us 9. And then 12 minus 3 gives us 9 as well. Is 9 greater than or equal to 9? Well, yes, it is because of this equal sign here. Right? So that's why this makes sense. Because if you notice in the next one, we have the exact same inequality, except it's just greater than. So we'll end up having 9 is greater than 9. And that doesn't make sense there. 9 is not greater than 9. But here it made sense because it was 9 is greater than or equal to 9. So just be aware of that as well. Sometimes whether it is a greater than or equal to or just a greater than symbol makes a difference in the answer to the question. So again, fairly simple. Just take that x value you're working with, plug it into the inequality, all the x values in the inequality, see if the numbers make sense. If they don't make sense, it's not in the solution set. If it does make sense, it is in the solution set.